your favorite manager in the whole world was fired. Sean Dyche was fired. I do not get the point of this man. If he never coaches again in any of the leagues I watch, I would not miss him. The problem is he's gonna get a job. He might get a job before Lopetegui. He keeps getting rehired, and when you look at him, you're like, what is the point of this dude? You know what I mean? If all you want to do is huff and puff and scowl, and and give memorable press conferences, I don't know, once every 10 matches, then maybe. But he didn't advance Everton in any way at all whatsoever. They were bad before him. They're bad now. The future is, pretty cloudy right now. They're getting new owners and all that. The players haven't improved. They got rid of some of their better players. They replaced them with, players that don't really fit. You've talked a lot about Onana, and it doesn't really fit. So I don't know what kind of scouting this man does, if he does any. So one, you think he gets another job? And two, there are rumors that David Moyes is coming back. I don't get that either. It was really, really, really bad his last season at West Ham. He shouldn't be coaching again. So, what do you think?
So, Mr. Sean, I think it's Dyche. It's not Dyche.
No, it's Dyche.
Anyway,
it's Dyche. It's Sean Dyche.
You're sure?
I'm very sure.
So, Mr. Dyche is at best a championship coach. Yeah.
Ouch. Not wrong.
That's what it is. Or if you're trying to avoid relegation, yeah, you're stuck in relegation battle. Yeah, he can probably help you, right? But any club that has ambitions of playing in Europe, right, of not being a mid-table team in the EPL, you want to play in Europe, you don't have any business appointing him. Absolutely no business, right? He's a defensive, defend first, and whatever happens in front of goal, we take it kind of coach. That's what he is. So every time he tries to set up his team offensively, the cracks appear. But when he plays and is resolute and he doesn't want to concede, you see them, they play well. Yeah. So he can't put together an offensive team. Can he put together a decent defensive team that can, soak up pressure and hit on the counter? Probably he can. Yeah. Everton that has hopes of, playing in Europe, you now give that guy 200 million kind of budget to work with. He's just going to he's going to buy players that don't fit your ambition, And you're right, he's probably going to get a job before Lopetegui. He probably will, Now, going back to David Moyes, it just tells you, David Moyes, that is the level that he is. That is his peak. David Moyes, what happened was he took over from United and he wanted to be a UCL manager, right? But you're not a Champions League manager. You are a mid-table fighting for Europe kind of manager, right?
Ouch.
So you went to Man United, West Ham, and now the full circle, you're back where you started from. And watch, Akin, Everton are going to start playing well. They'll be a good mid-table team. He's an Everton lifer. I'm sorry. That's what he is for me, right? Because if Everton have hopes of playing in Europe, it's not David Moyes they should be getting. I'm sorry. It's not David Moyes they should be getting. But I saw this, when I heard Dyche I jokingly said, oh, maybe Arteta, their prime person will be Arteta because of the history he has with Everton and all. But they were definitely going to get David Moyes. Definitely going to get David Moyes. So
it just makes sense. It just makes sense that Everton would do this. But it is what. Good luck to them. I don't even know what to say, but I forgot to bring up Graham Potter taking over at West Ham. I think it's a good coach. Again, we can debate who was responsible for the success at Brighton.
at
His
Brighton. Yeah.
successor had some success as well. And his successor is having success right now, if that makes sense. That's a lot of successes. But like I said the other day, there's talk that is really the owner and not the coaches. I don't think it's 100% one person and 0% the other. Was he really that bad at Chelsea? It's been a while. I don't remember. But
Mm.
if he's gonna be any kind of coach at all, this has to at least be his level. West Ham. It has to at least be his level, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
there's no big names, no big personalities here. It should be fine.
Yeah.
I guess
I
is what
agree.
I'm trying to say.
I
So
think it's a perfect fit. Yeah, he's not taking a club that's too big for him, and he's not taking a club
mm,
that's too small for him. I totally agree with you. I've not seen enough of Potter to actually say, "Oh, this guy is a good coach," because once
mm,
again, we've seen two situations where we're not too sure, um, whether the success was because of him, and in Chelsea, whether the dysfunction was because of him, because there was major dysfunction at
mm,
Chelsea when he took over. With Todd
mm,
Bowley just carrying a shopping cart and going through the mall, just picking players like groceries, right? So
mm.
we saw that. So I can't. So this is a good opportunity for him to then let us know what kind of coach he is, right? There was a time he was muted to become the England manager, wasn't he?
Yes,
Potter.
it was in the
Yeah,
running. It was in the
it was
running.
it,
It
it
was
was
in the
in the
running.
running.
Yeah,
So it's up to him. I think
yeah.
it's a perfect fit for both guys. Moyes at Everton, Potter at West Ham. Back my question to you then is, looking at the table now and the way the league is panning out, who do you think is next that'll get the sack?
Let's see. So I'm looking at the teams at the bottom of the league. Wolves and Southampton got rid of their
They just
coaches. Oh,
already,
they
yeah.
did, right? They did.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And now Everton and West Ham. Honestly, that may be the end of it. Uh that may who else would think they could do better with a manager? Leicester already did. Ipswich
Leicester
Town
already
really
did.
shouldn't. Yeah.
If well, they shouldn't, but you
Ipswich
never know.
shouldn't.
You never know.
Yeah. I,
But
I think
but
everyone should be just about safe. I think Crystal Palace coach is safe. Man, you already fired their manager. Honestly,
Spurs,
okay. The only one I can think about is Spurs.
yeah, I had that in mind too.
Yeah.
I had that in mind too. That 1-0 win, we'll talk about that later, over Liverpool,
Yeah.
probably just extended his tenure a bit. Yeah, if he had
Yeah.
lost that game, they probably would have fired him. They
Yeah.
probably would have fired him. But well, it's Spurs. You never know what Spurs would do, right? They are, you know the way they think and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, I
So
think we had the
that would
same.
be
It's
my
only
answer.
Spurs I had in mind. Yeah, it's only Spurs I had in mind too.